Hello, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Learns, where we are playing more Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we finished off the Alchemist questline of Stormblood, and today we are going to finish off the final fucking individual job quest in the game, actually. Because from this point on it's going to be role quests and other, like, something similar to it. Within the crafting and gathering areas, which is really nice, because... Although, I will say, the last quest was really good. Actually, the last two quests were really good. Really enjoyed Weaver, and I really enjoyed Alchemist. But all the rest, not so much. Armor was pretty fun. Blacksmith, too. Let's see. Goldsmith, meh. Leatherworker, meh. Carpenter, I don't even remember. Anyway, moving on. Oh, good time at last. There's someone come calling that wants to meet our most decorated chef. That's you daft sod. Your sickening modesty aside, your visitor says he's an adventurer what took up cooking on the side, not unlike your good self. I wouldn't do that. He sees you as something of an inspiration. In a road, be a dear and go and say hello, would you? You'll find him out by the dining area. A brawny sort of bloke. Name, Rolf. What's up? But Roger, it's really you, the famous Linda there in the flesh. I first heard about you through your adventuring exploits, and I was already plenty impressed, but then I learned that you were a renowned culinarian besides, and I knew that I just had to meet you. You see, for a time I was also trying to make my way as an adventurer, and a culinarian both, but it soon became apparent that I was spending my limited talent too thin. So I decided to kiss the adventuring life goodbye, and took up a post at Mr. Rowena's Cafe, and at Revenant's Toll. The thing is, that was a... I'm sorry, like, I did a burp, and then I started speaking, and that just made my voice crack like crazy. The thing is, with or without distractions, it's not easy to succeed as a chef. It's a crown profession, as I'm sure you can appreciate, and if I am to make a name for myself, I can't be making what everyone else is making. Nay, I need to venture into unexplored territory. To that end, I came up with a brilliant idea. I'd incorporate Far Eastern dishes into our menu, and cater to the Doman residents of Revenant's Toll. Promising, right? Right? The thing is, brilliant idea or no, it's not easy to learn a foreign cuisine, and Far Eastern is just about as foreign as they come. It's plain I'm going to need some help, and of the well-travelled sort, and so I decided to turn to the most accomplished adventuring culinarian I know. You, Lynn. Now I realize you're a busy woman, and we've only just met. If you say no, I won't think ill of you. But if you'd be so kind as to help out a brother, I'll be waiting for you at Revenant's Toll. I ain't your brother, dude. You are now my cooking brother. Brother. We talking about my brother? You came! I didn't have my hopes up, but you really came. To have the help of an accomplished culinarian like you is a dream come true. Thank the 12, and thank you. Without further ado, let's get right to the cooking. Is what I'd like to say, but I still need to decide on a Far Eastern dish to test out. If you could wait a while, I'll look into what the Domans have a hankering for. I have connections, so it shouldn't be difficult. But until we have the name of a dish, please feel free to go about your business. Again, allow me to thank you for your help, Lynn. It's a great honor to be able to work with the only person in history to score a perfect 10 in the Delamon door. Though I may not be in the same class as you, not even close, I promise to do the best I can to pull my weight. Oh, so Alpha is in here. That's pretty fun. Lynn, good to see you again. Since last we spoke, I've managed to learn a little about the local Doman's culinary preferences. Pretty much all the same are sick unto death of bread in their lunches, and they miss something more than rice, the staple of their homeland in particular. They want to eat the steamed stuff made into convenient balls. The Doman name is onigiri, which I'm told roughly translates to honorably squeezed. Well, it's just a matter of squeezing honorably. I thought I didn't need to trouble you. As a matter of fact, I've already tried my hand at it, using rice supplied by an adventurer friend. I was quite pleased with the result too, but then I gave it to the Domans, and let's say their opinion of it wasn't as high as my own. I don't know what I did wrong. I made the rice balls exactly as described, but there must be more to it than meets the eye. One thing's certain though, if I can't squeeze a decent ball of rice, I don't have a future in Far Eastern cuisine. Here's what I need your help. Here's where I need your help, Lynn. Polite people as they are, the Domans won't give it to me straight what was wrong with my rice balls. Do you think you could go and ask them in my stead? The strapping gentleman's rice balls. While he was kind to make them for us, he needs to show the same kindness to the rice. He squeezed his balls with such force the texture was fairly crushed out of each grain. I can just imagine a cutscene of him just flexing, all of his freaking clothing blowing up. Oh yes, Master Rolf's rice balls. It was not a terrible first effort, but if I may offer some advice, you would do well to use less water in the cooking and in the shaping. Imagine that he is grasping not only grains of rice, but air as well. I don't think I've actually ever eaten, like, onigiri or rice balls. He was to know what was wrong with the rice balls. Well, there I was expecting the taste of home, but it turned out to be utterly foreign. Whatever seasoning was used completely masked the natural taste of rice. Not to sound ungrateful, of course. I'll be damned. I assumed you squeezed in order to keep the grains together. But it's plainly not that simple, nor is it enough to simply cook the rice. You need just the right amount of water. As for the taste, I thought that salt alone was dull, so I came up with the brilliant idea of adding a hint of, wait for it, Far Eastern seasoning. To have it called foreign and is salt in the wound. Pardon the pun. Well, it seems I just got just about everything wrong, but I dare say you'll fare better, Lynn. While the comments are still fresh in your mind, do you think you could try making some rice balls? I have all the ingredients you need here, and Popin has more of the same. Well met, good madam. Popin's the name, and I have charge over our stores. Never had occasion to handle Far Eastern ingredients before, but rest assured, I'm eager to learn. When the rice balls are ready, please bring them outside. I'll go around and gather some domens in the meantime. And this time we'll make sure they leave with smiles on their faces. Domen and rice balls. That's the wrong button. Son of a bitch! Well, that's what happens when I don't check my hotbar, huh? God damn it. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to craft. Well, not like there's much to it, really. Especially when I get good 2 times in a row. Easy. I've gathered the domens, and they are eager to sample your handiwork. Simple triangular balls of steamed sticky rice sprinkled with naught but a pinch of sea salt so that one might appreciate the subtle flavors of the original ingredients. Thank you. I'll pass these out straight away. You're looking good, though. I've always thought that they looked very nice now. Sorry, jelly-filled donuts. Pokemon and its stupid dub. Now that was a rice ball. Ah, there's nothing like rice to give you strength for a hard day's work. It was wonderful. Every bite called to my mind's eye images of my faraway home. Both the steaming and the shaping were done to perfection. Well done. Yeah. By the 12th, this is amazing. I can taste it. How the sprinkle of salt draws out the sweetness of the rice. By adding spices, I unwittingly killed those natural flavors. And this fluffy texture, this is what it means to grasp not only the rice, but air as well. Gently joined as they are, the grains retain their fresh steamed plumpness and break apart at first bite. Such a simple thing, yet it's so good. Truly harness the best qualities of rice. Such is the spirit of Far Eastern cuisine, to respect each ingredient and allow it to shine. Ready, who's speaking? Hello. Forgive me my interruption. My name is Anzu, and I wish to thank you for assisting Ralph. Anzu, you shouldn't be here if we're seen together. What was I to do? I was worried. However, I've seen that I needn't be. You're clearly in good hands. Oh-ho. And returning to the matter at hand, the rice balls were a rising success. Let's continue this back in the kitchen, shall we? Oh-ho, I see. Shipped and sent. Using your samples as a guide, I'm going to begin serving rice balls at the restaurant. This marks our first foray into Far Eastern cuisine, and I couldn't have done it without you, Lynn. Thank you. And before you go off, I probably should tell you who that girl was. Anja's my fiancée. During my adventuring days, I'd often come here to trade tombstones. Here I first met her, and kept meeting her, until one day I popped the question. There's something of a complication. But that's enough about me. Now, while the rice ball is a fine start, a start is all it is. I intend to put out more and more Far Eastern dishes, and I hope I can continue relying on your help in the days to come. Sure, bruv. Are these things like high quality? Nah, they're not worth anything then. Lynn, how are you? Since we began serving rice balls, I'm pleased to say we've been fairly flying out of the kitchen. Or they've been fairly flying out of the kitchen. The Domans can't get enough of them, and it's all thanks to you. Of course, it was never my intent to rest on these laurels. I've been exploring new Far Eastern dishes, in the course of which I caught wind of a common complaint among elderly Domans. It seems the rich and greasy foods found in Eorzea tend to wreak havoc on their stomachs. For such complaints, I'm told a dish called udon is just what the heroes ordered. It's a bowl of noodles in a light and warming broth that's easy going down, and I'd like to try serving it up to the old ones. The key to the dish is the broth, called dashi, which, as far as I can decipher, means exit juice. Sure, it sounds more appetizing in the Doman tongue. The peculiarities of language aside, dashi is made by boiling dried fish, and is supposed to be at the base for many Far Eastern dishes. Now, last time I learned all about the importance of respecting ingredients and letting them shine. With that in mind, I want to source the best dried fish possible. Which means we're going to Lim's Elemental. When we arrive, let's first visit the Bismarck and consult Guildmaster Runskov. He'll know where to point us. Sorry, that was me. Stretching. A stretch is always good. Dried fish to make broth for your Far Eastern dishes, eh? And your best bet be using the authentic stuff. As so happens, a Kraken ship recently seized itself an Imperial merchantman way out east when we was carrying all sorts of exotic goods. Well, because the kind of dried fish you're after is among them. If that's the case, reckon Carlovan would be willing to cut you a deal. Why don't you go and have a chat with the bloke? Right then, let's go to the 7th stage. To the 7th stage, yeah. The ship we seized? As a matter of fact, it was carrying some unusual cargo, among which I seem to recall some manner of dried fish. It seemed not like to fetch any coin, however, so we offloaded it in order to free up the hold for more valuable plunder. The Lady Infernal happened to pass by, so we made a gift of it to the Sanguine Sirens. The unassuming fools that we are, they accepted it without question, so if you want your fish, you'll need to speak with their captain, the ever-uncouth Rostwin. Well, it looks like it's off to the missing member for us. All the way on the other fucking side. Can't fucking believe this bullshit. Ah yes, one of those PvP armors that you cannot get anymore. I felt so fucking annoyed getting like... I don't know what it was called, just like one of the PvP armors, and it just dies like absolute ass. Horrible die. So, yeah, it's basically useless to me. Which was very unfortunate. Oh well. Such is the way of things, I suppose. Hello. I heard right. Carvalane gave us foodstuffs from a ship he seized. Far Eastern delicacies worth its weight in gold, he said. But what do I find when I pry open the crates but fish which dried up harder than a plank? Should have known better than to trust that lion horseman. That's it, the fish we're after. The Domans call it katsuobushi, and you boil shaved strips of it to get a broth. Will you sell it to us, Captain? Sell it to you. Can't well sell what I don't have now, can I? Worthless it was, worthless as it looked. Let me girls throw it overboard, but now I find myself regretting it. Could have held on to the fish, so I could shove him up Carlavan's arse. See how he enjoys his Far Eastern delicacy. Looks like there's nothing for it but to go to the Far East. What am I going to do about the cafe? Can't leave it unattended. Excuse me then, as usual, I couldn't help but overhear the captain's impassioned rants, and I'm happy to say I have the dried fish in our storehouse. Massey B, he hardly ever comes to visit, you see, so I adopted a little kitty to remind me of him, and it just so happens he loves dried fish more than anything else. I've since discovered that a cat is far better company than some self-centered piece of turd who ain't even never around. What were we talking about now? Right, dried fish. Any friend of Lynn's a friend of mine, and you're welcome to do as much as you need. You're welcome to as much of it as you need. Please help yourself. Really? I'm in your debt. Lynn, I'll go grab the fish. See you back at the Reverend's stall. Such dedication to his craft. Why, it's as if there's more that's driving him than the cooking alone. As if there's love. Just a woman's intuition. Indeed. Meanwhile, Rosman is just like, fucking love. Disgusting! Even though she is just in love with Carlavane. But Carlavane couldn't give a rat's ass about her. And thus she is the opposite of fucked. She's not going to get that Ellison. That big Ellison anyway. Okay, we're moving on. Right, let's get to work on the udon, Lynn. I'd like you to take shavings from the katsubushi and boil it to make the broth. Feel my broth! Meanwhile, I'll see to the noodles. It's supposed to be hard physical work, but nothing if not strong. Poppin has more ingredients in reserve, so let him know if you need anything else. Shall we then? Udon broth. Noodles are just about done. How's the broth coming along? A golden savory stock taken by boiling flakes of a dried bonito, used in many varieties of Far Eastern cuisine, including the noodle dish, udon. Wonderful. That's all that's left to combine it. All that's left is to combine it to, and the udon will be ready. I'll have the other domans come over to sample it right away. I can just, like, knowing how, like, some of the sound design works in this game, and, like, more specifically knowing Soken, I'm pretty dang sure that they just were like, alright, I'm gonna give you, like, something, and you're just gonna slurp it right next to the microphone, and that's gonna be our sound. Oh, I love it. Ah, that was a tasty bowl of udon. The broth was good to the last drop. And light and gentle as it was, I dare say it'll be good all the way through me. I didn't think I'd get to eat udon again after I died. Brings a tear to my eye. Thank you, young ones. Thank you. Look at those beads! Anyway. Yeah. I reckon we can call it a great success. Now we can offer udon on the menu with confidence. Well, I had heard that Eorzin had taken to serving Far Eastern cuisine to think that it was you. I had nothing to do with for father. You will not call me that. You're no son to me. I will not give my precious daughter to some vagabond. But I've given up adventuring. This is what I do now. All I intend to do, and I'm learning how to make Far Eastern cuisine. I mean, it makes sense that it would get stuck for the Doan people. An ignoble adventure making a noble cuisine, I would be laughing were the idea not so absurd. Before you pass judgment, please sample my udon, father. I mean, Unzan-san. I made it together with my fellow adventurer. Here. Doubtless it will be just a rude bastardization. The ASMR is real, brother. Considering that it was made by an outsider, the broth is respectable. The flavors are well balanced, and displain care was taken into the boiling. The noodles, on the other hand, soggy rubbish. There's no body to them at all. They are soft and spineless. The very personification of their maker. You're worth little as an adventurer, and even less as a culinarian. The thing is that something you can choose if you want the noodles hard or soft? Oh, I'm sorry you had to see that, Lynn. Well, at least now you know what the complication is. Ans's father, Unzon, he's as traditional as they come and refuses to accept a vagrant adventurer like me for a son-in-law. It was to gain his approval that I gave up adventuring life to focus on cooking Far Eastern cuisine. The problem is Unzon himself is a chef of no small renown, who had his own prestigious restaurant in Doma. From the first, I knew it wouldn't be easy to impress him, but to be on the receiving end of such scorn is disheartening, to say the least. In the end, though, he spoke the truth. I am not worth a damn as neither adventurer nor culinarian. Far cry from you, then. Even so, I won't let it end like this. I won't give up while I'm burping again. No matter what it takes, I will succeed as a culinarian and make Unzon approve of me. I'm sorry I kept all this from you, but though my motives aren't as I first said, it doesn't change whatever you seek to do, and I hope I can keep depending on your help. Yes, you can, brother. I will always support love. Lynn, I'm glad to see you again. After Unzon tore my noodles to shreds, I went back and practiced until I could produce the body he said they were lacking. As for the broth, I made it again and again until I could create something to your standard, and reliably. With these two things perfected by my definition, at any rate, I am now offering udon on our menu. It was a lot of work, but it was well worth the effort. For the dishes proving popular, not only among the domans, but adventurers as well. But there's no time to be patting ourselves on the back. We've got more Far Eastern dishes to explore, and my sights are set on something called sushi. Little amounts of rice topped with raw fish. As simple as it sounds, ask any doman and they'll tell you it's an indulgence of the highest order. Not certain where to begin, I consulted Anzu, who told me that this dish is nigh impossible to make without training under an honest-to-God master. This means a trip to Hingashi, where it originates. But as you know, I have a responsibility to the restaurant. Rowena would never permit me to leave for long enough to make the journey. It pains me to ask such a big favor of you, but will you go to Hingashi in my stead and learn the basics of sushi making? Sure. I'm in your debt. I don't know what I would do without you, my friend. Now, according to Anzu, one of the realm's foremost sushi chefs, works in the port city of Kugane at an inn called Bakairo. You do well to seek out this inn. While you are abroad, I'll round up all the ingredients in preparation for your return. And with that, I bid you a safe journey. Hingashi. To Kugane. Come on, cuts, embarrassing rashes, there's not that the mythical waters of Bakaisen Springs cannot heal. Oh, you seek not healing, but a meeting with our sushi chef. Well, 'tis true that we are known no less for our waters than we are for our cuisine. Our guests journey hither from far and wide to partake of the heavenly morsels prepared by Chef Shamoji? Yes. His dedication to his craft is such that he insists upon gathering the ingredients himself. As a matter of fact, that is what he's doing right at this moment. These outings usually keep him away for a good while, and I cannot rightly say when he might return. If you are in some hurry, you might consider searching for him out in the Ruby Sea. He favors the waters near the Isle of Beko for his fishing, and unique as his appearance is, you ought to find him without trouble. Assuming you are a strong swimmer, that is. Immediately I was thinking that was going to be a Kojin. This sounds like something a Kojin would make. God, I love some good water. Water and water and water, water and water and water. Water and water and water, water and water and water. Come to think of it, don't I? Wait, I should know this now because I'm actually playing FF8. Should pay attention next time I play. Hello, Shamoji. How you doing? God, it just cost me a plump maguro. Whoever you are, had better be good. Hi, I'm Shimoji. Shelled or unshelled, there's nary a finer sushi chef in all the land. Now, what business have you that you simply must disturb me at my fishing? You wish to learn sushi making? I don't teach my craft to any small fry that comes swimming up, and you're as small as they come. Ah, but the fishing is bad at this day. I shall return to the inn. Our business is over. Do not even think to follow me. Wow, I will follow you, of course, you dangus. You should know how important I am to your people. You should respect me more. You again? I thought I told you not to follow me. I'm not going to teach you my craft. So get you gone. Well, fancy seeing you here, Lynn. Ah, the mere sight of you brings back the memories of your most succulent Okayanis. Is it the Ellison dude? Yeah. I came to sample the Bokairo's famous sushi, but the chef was regrettably absent. Just as I was about to leave, however, who would I spy but you? And if I heard correctly, you're here to study sushi making. Pleased am I to see that your hunger for learning remains voracious as ever. Master Delamont, forgive me my absence. Give me but a moment, and I shall prepare the finest selection of sushi in the house. Never mind that, my friend. Instead, I should be much obliged for you to initiate my dear Lynn here in the ways of your craft. Should her qualifications be a concern, know that she scored a perfect 10 in my contest. A perfect 10? In the Delamont door? But that surpasses even... very well, if you're good enough for Master Delamont, then you're good enough for me. That is settled. Happy learning, then. When next we meet, I look forward to sampling the far eastern fruits of your learning. See ya. Come then, apprentice. I shall plant the foundation of sushi making into you. Can you please not pound me? That'd be nice. To master the basics in so short a time. Small wonder Master Delamont approves of you. More superior leaving sushi. Mere 10 years under me, and you could call yourself a master. But for now, I shall content myself in the knowledge that you will spit the joys of sushi to Eorzea. Farewell, apprentice. See ya. You know what I like? Seeing like the freaking hammer dents on my little pan. Such a small detail, it's so good. That's a lot of full jumps off the building. Lynn, welcome back. It's good to see you again, and wiser in the ways of sushi for your time in Ingashi. While you were away, we sought to procure the finest ingredients available. Now, while the seafood is still fresh, you must impart to me all you've learned of sushi making. I think sushi is one thing that I would never really like. I wouldn't like the texture of sushi. I see. You can't slap raw fish on top of rice and call it sushi. No. You need to draw the natural flavors of the ingredients and bring them together in a harmonious whole. Truly, Far Eastern cuisine is deceptive in its simplicity. But thanks for the detailed explanation, my friend. I'll try my hand at making sushi at once, and have the local domain sample it. And this time, I'll call for Anzo and her father as well. Unzon was an accomplished chef, and if my handiwork meets his approval, then there's no doubting I'm on the right track. But to prepare so many portions of my first try is admittedly difficult. I'm sorry, Lynn, but will you help me out? A single serving would be well enough. We have all the necessary ingredients right here. As always, if you need more of something, Poppin can furnish you with it. And with that, let's both of us get to work. Nagiri Sushi! Work with me. Sushi's tricky even with guidance. Are you done with yours then? One of many types of sushi, nigiri sushi is called such because chefs use their hands to grip nigiri and form small balls of Vinegard rice, onto which are placed various items such as vegetables or fish. Great, to calm my concentration and all this patience, but I've somehow managed to finish mine as well. If you could go ahead to the terrace area, I'll go and inform our taste testers that sushi is served. Anzu and her father should be along in a moment now. God, but this is nerve-wracking. Sushi. What is this? You expect me to partake of sushi made by an Eorzean? Come now, father, it looks delicious. Give it a chance and try it, at the very least. Lin sushi is superb. To be sure, you still have years of training ahead of you before you can compare to the masses of our land, but to produce such quality in Eorzea is a praiseworthy accomplishment. Ralph's, on the other hand, shoddy rubbish. It is sushi in naught but appearance, pale imitation, bereft of depth, unfit to be placed before a customer. But that is only natural. Short of having a kami given gift, one cannot hope to make something so exacting as sushi to any satisfactory degree with naught but basic training. You may not have the talent of Lin, but that is not a failing. Though your sushi is more akin to a humble rice ball, I can taste the effort that went into its making. For all its flaws, I do not dislike it. You approve of my sushi? Then me and Anzu. That's a little quick, buddy. Never! You plainly misunderstand why I do not approve of you. It has naught to do with your being a lowly adventurer nor a mediocre culinarian. Nay, it's because you are not one of us. Ooh. That's even worse, dude. What the fuck? Ours is the blood of Yangsha, a proud line and pure. And only a man of equally pure lineage is fit for my daughter, for my only daughter. You're unfit, but it is not, but it is through no fault of your own. Consider Far Eastern cuisine. It owes its greatness to its purity, to the fact that it developed free of outside influences. So too do I wish it to be for my line. Surely you understand. Father, I can't believe what I'm hearing. If you'll not approve of us, then I'll take no part of your line. I understand. I'll go back to being an adventurer. Ralph, no. Let him go, Anzu. It wasn't meant to be. I will give you some time alone. Jesus fucking Christ. How could he give up so easily on his cooking, on us? Nay, that is not the Ralph I know. I believe in him. Whatever it is he means to do, he has his reasons. I am certain of it. I beg of you, Lin. Please lend him your aid, as you have thus far. If you hurry, you may still find him in the kitchen. I have a habit of showing you my worst moments, don't I? As I said, I'm going back to be an adventurer. But note I haven't given up on Anzu. Her father's claim about the purity of Far Eastern cuisine, something about it tugs at my mind. I need some time to ponder it. It may be there is a chance I can make Unzan reconsider his stance. The odds are long, but I'm nothing if not persistent. And should the need arise, I hope that I can rely on your help again. You'll recall Unzan's words about how Far Eastern cuisine developed without outside influence. For the moment he uttered them, they've been tugging at my mind. I've given the claim much thought, and I find myself disinclined to agree. And the basis for this is the very first Far Eastern dish I ever had, which Anzu made for me. Sukiyaki, it's called, and it's a hearty dish of meat and vegetables simmered in a shallow pot. The moment I tasted it, I was overcome with a sense of nostalgia. Like many Alamegans, I'm a war orphan. Left my homeland when I was little and remembered nothing of my time there. Nothing at all, save for the taste of a certain hearty stew, and Anzu's sukiyaki was exactly like it. The similarity can be a mere coincidence. Nay, there has to be a connection between Far Eastern and Alamegan cuisine. If I can just prove it, Anzu's father might be moved to reconsider our union. There's no guarantee, of course, but for my Anzu it's worth a try. Now, as you can see, I'm an adventurer again, free to go wherever I want, whenever I want. And I intend to go to a village in the peaks called Alagiri. In former times, it thrived as a trading hub with the east. There I'm going to track down the stew of my memory, and try to learn whether Alamego might have shared a culinary history with the Far East. You've already journeyed to the other side of the world for me, and I can't rightly ask any more of you, but if you're still willing to help me, then please come to Alagiri. Alagiri! You came, thank the gods. Thought the fiends in the area were fierce, but the people here might be even fiercer. But I'm ready to face them now that you're here. Can't thank you enough. Let's split up and ask the villagers about the stew. We'll meet again here when we're done. Meat and vegetables simmered in a shallow pot. What I described sounds a lot like buckler stew, traditional Alamegan dish. It was born when soldiers in the field took to using their bucklers in place of pots, cooking meat in them with wine and various seasonings. It was popular in the past, but under Imperial rule it became a rare indulgence. Okay, much for stews. Sorry. If you ask me, the only way to cook meat is to roast it to a crisp. Blah, blah, blah. Stew? Does it look like I know anything about Swaven stews? I just eat whatever the hell's put in front of me. Oh, you. I had no luck, Lynn. No one I spoke with knew anything about my stew. Buckler stew, yes, that was its name. Damn, medieval investigative skills are first rate. I'm happy to say, though, that my own inquiries weren't completely fruitless either. I managed to track down a fellow who's versed in history. Let's go and ask him what he knows about trade between Alamego and Doma. I know some few things about our nation's history, owing to my time working at the Royal Palace. But what is it you wish to know? There's true Alamego traded with nations to the east prior to Imperial rule. But as far as I'm aware, this extended only as far as the Near East, to Ratatan. So there was no contact between us and Doma? Not at all? No, even if it isn't direct, there has to be some sort of connection. For example, Ratatan could have been a waypoint for the dish. But if I want to verify this, I'm going to have to go all the way out over there. Perhaps you needn't go so far, for there's a Hanish fellow among us who came... among us. who came to yours there years ago. You could try asking him first. I saw him heading outside the village a short while ago. Elderly as he is, he can't have gone far. Thank you. Lynn, let's go and look for this man. The way to a father's heart is food. I mean, I've never really had to win over a father, so I wouldn't really know. I can expect it to be pretty freaking bad now. There's no sign of him. Ah, help, somebody! Oh, shite, he's in trouble. Let me smack him with my frying pan. Help! Help me! Still got it. What little I had at any rate. Would have been a nice stroll through the woods for you, but I can't let you do all the work. Done more than your fair share already. Besides, I wanted to show that I'm not completely hopeless. I owe you my life. I was so focused on my harvesting I didn't notice the Kikiran coming. You look a mite pale, lad. Are you hurt? Just my bones and organs. I'm already on the mend, I assure you. More importantly, I'll take it you're a gentleman who came from Mazatlan. I'm sorry if this seems sudden, but while you were still there, did you ever hear about a dish called buckler stew? Hear about it? I love this stuff, ever since traders brought it over from Alamego. It's been an enduring favorite in my homeland. As a matter of fact, it's the reason I came to be here, though I won't bore you with the details. So it was introduced to Mazatlan after all. Tell me, do you know if buckler stew also made its way to Doma? That it did, and it's a tale all know well. A Doman merchant journeyed to Ratatan to buy spices, you see, and chanced to sample the stew. It was love at first sight. So enamored was he of it, he decided to open a restaurant back at home and started buying up all the shallow pots he could find. Alas, these pots proved too heavy to take back, and he left them all at the pier and said he'd make do with spades. Spades, you say? The name sukiyaki can be translated as spade grill, and it's said to come from the fact that you grill the meat on a spade. Ha! I knew there was a connection. Sukiyaki, so that's what they call it. Well, by whatever name it's known, all this talk has given me a fierce hunger for it. There's not for it but to make some right now. I'm going to make some buckler stew? Would you mind teaching me the recipe, and tell me more about its spread to the Far East? Oh, you'd indulge this old man with your company? Well, if you insist, who am I to argue? Come along then, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I can take it from here, Lynn. Leave the learning to me. I'll join you back at Revenant's Stall when I'm done. Thanks again for all your help. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, Lynn, perfect timing. I've just returned myself, with the recipe for buckler stew freshly etched into my noggin. I begged Mr. Owenna for the use of my old kitchen, and surprisingly she allowed it. 12 bless her. With that, I can set about making the buckler stew in order to win Anzu's father over. Here, I have one last favor to ask of you, my friend. I need you to prepare a serving of doman sukiyaki. It's a relatively simple affair. You take meat and vegetables and simmer them in broth of dashi and Far Eastern condiments. Though I needn't remind you that Far Eastern cuisine can be deceptive in its simplicity. Anyway, here's all the ingredients you need. And Poppin has more set aside. My future with Anzu and as a culinarian both ride on our success. Please, make me the best doman sukiyaki you can. Doman sukiyaki. Making the buckler stew is strangely comforting. The sight, the smell, even the sound, they take me back to bygone days. But to get back to the present day, how is the doman sukiyaki coming along? Originally introduced to Doma by Alamegan merchants, sukiyaki is a popular dish that consists of thinly sliced meat and vegetables cooked in sweet and savory soy-based sauce. Well, a mere waft is enough to tell me this sakayuki is in a class of its own, and my buckler stew is as ready as it'll ever be. Come, let's serve them to Anzu and her father on the terrace. Is this a joke? In our culture, sukiyaki is shared only between family and dear friends. You are neither. If you think this will win my favor, you are sadly mistaken. No. Please allow me to explain. Lynn made the sukiyaki, while I made a different type of stew. Different, I say, however. What is this? Resembles Sakiyaki, sorry. But yet it appears not to be Far Eastern. That's because it's a traditional Alamegan stew. If it pleases you, please sample and compare it with sukiyaki. An Alamegan stew, you say? I know not what you're playing at, but your aroma is undeniably appetizing. Very well. By the kami, not only do they look alike, they also taste alike. But the ingredients, they are different, are they not? You're right, Father. There may be subtle differences, but no matter how you look at it, this stew is sukiyaki. What is the meaning of this? Did sukiyaki somehow find its way to Alamigo? No, Unzen-san, it's the opposite. It's the Alamegan dish, buckler stew, that found its way to the Far East and eventually became sukiyaki. Though Alamigo and Doma had no common history, they had a common trading partner in the Near East. Originating in my homeland, buckler stew first crossed the seas to Rajasthan. From there it crossed the seas once more to Doma, where it was recreated using local ingredients to become sukiyaki. It must be noted that this took place at a relatively recent period in Doma's long history. Up to that point, meat was predominantly grilled to harness their natural flavors, or minced and used in dumplings. While stews weren't uncommon, they were reserved mainly for seafood, but with sukiyaki's arrival, new possibilities blossomed for meat dishes. Father, you told me that Far Eastern cuisine owes its greatness to the fact that it developed free of outside influences, but it owes its greatness no less to what it adopted from other cultures. Why are you still standing there? Sit down and join us ere the foods get cold. I don't know how I'll ever repay you, Lyn. Thanks to you, I've managed to do the impossible and win over Unzan. Finally approves of me and Anzu, and we plan to be bonded at the earliest opportunity. I'm going to resume my post at the cafe, serving Far Eastern dishes, of course, and hang up my adventures hat for good. I suppose you'll continue both adventuring and cooking, and I don't doubt you'll keep on succeeding at both. But no matter how high you climb, or how far you roam, know that you're always welcome here. That's a nice quest. That's a nice little quest. I like that. And with that, my friends, believe it or not, as I pick my microphone, believe it or not, we're done with all the side quest content between the end of normal Stormblood and the beginning of the patches. At least I think so. I'm gonna double check again after this, but I'm pretty dang sure that I've done everything that I wanted to do, or that I even can do, before the patches begin, except for, well, one thing, but you're not gonna notice it because it's gonna be done by the time that all this is uploaded. But I still need to finish Elto's custom deliveries. Anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Downs. We were playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode, in theory, normally, actually no, let me scratch that. In the next episode, we are going to be, I'm going to be uploading the custom deliveries quests that I've done. So it's going to be another 3 episodes of crafting stuff. And then after that, that is when we're going to be starting doing the patches, in theory, as long as there's nothing else in between that I may have overlooked. Anyway, goodbye.